Let me tell you something. This man right here, this man is an absolute unit. What it do, what it do, what it do. Welcome to episode 3 of the Absolute Unit podcast. It's called An Absolute Unit, and there's no the at the beginning. One job. I had one job, not to mess up the name of my own podcast, but couldn't even do that. Well, welcome back. Hopefully, people are still listening to this. As of this, I just put up the first episode a couple days ago, and people are actually listening to it. It's kind of crazy. I checked this morning, and there were like 16 streams on Spotify, which is crazy. I figured nobody was going to listen to this, but people did, and I'm so thankful for that. So I want to start off by saying thank you to everybody. I want to say thank you to Bingo Thorin. I'll ask him what he wants to be referred by professionally because he did the podcast art that everybody says is fantastic. I think it's fantastic, and it's amazing. I can't believe he did that well. I can't believe it. He's pretty good. He's pretty good at stuff. Well, I'm still on that Minecraft grind. In this server, we're trying to go to the end pretty soon. So if you know what that means, cool. You're in on a little something. If not, don't worry about it. It's basically unimportant to anything real, but it's fun, which is what video games are all about. Uploading the podcast is a weird experience, and promoting it, because I'm not that kind of person on social media. I just post pictures of my cat every now and then. So putting myself out there and being like, hey, this is me, go listen to me, was a different experience for sure. But I had a lot of good responses, good reactions to it, which made me super happy. I couldn't ask for more. Again, I'm so thankful for everybody who tunes in. Hopefully people are still tuning in. Episode 3, they might have gotten a little sick of me by now, but I hope not. Another thing I want to start off the podcast by saying is I'll try to cut down on the suicide remarks. Okay, I get it. I'm not going to kill myself, which if you actually listened, never said I was going to kill myself because I love my cat too much, so don't worry about it. We're all good for now. All right, I should really stop making that joke. I'm not going to kill myself. Even if my cat happens to die before me, which unlikely. She's a panther. They live for 40, 50 years, right? But even if that happens, I'm having too much fun right now. Just vibing, just playing a lot of video games, doing a lot of school. I don't know if I'd call school fun right now. I'm having fun, just grinding daily. Going to school, going to work. It'll pay off though. I hope so. Hopefully everything hasn't gone crazy by then. Because imagine if the day after I get my bachelor's degree, I'm all right, I go out. I probably got a job lined up by then. And then that day, aliens swoop down or we invent something crazy that it's oh wait, life's not normal anymore. Everybody switch it up. I'd be pissed. I'd be so pissed. I just grinded for 4 years so that you could tell me that it's different now? No thank you, sir. No sirree, no shibbity doo dah. God, I'm so fuck you, bid. But yeah, I'm not gonna kill myself. It's good to point out. I don't think there was anything else I really had to get off my chest right away. It snowed today, which probably isn't going to be crazy to most people who listen, but since I've moved, it snowed once, and it didn't even stick, and it's sticking now. My roommates were out there throwing snowballs like Neanderthals earlier. Just kidding. We can have fun. We have fun. I don't like when people have fun, but we can have fun. I want people to be miserable, especially me. I want myself to be miserable. So I just started getting into playing competitive, first-person shooters. And oh my God, I've never had less fun. But also every now and then I win, and it's the most serotonin I ever get when I win and we actually do good. Oh my God, it's just ecstasy. Better than calming. Ever seen that Arnold Schwarzenegger bit where he talks about he likes working out just as much as he likes coming? That's so weird. Man is built different if he just likes working out that much. And he was huge, so he had to work out hard. Yeah, that's a no from me, Chief. Really, here's another day where I just hit record and don't have a plan. I've got my notes sheet up with things that I could talk about, but too busy playing Minecraft to look at that. So what is it with Minecraft, dude? Every single sound, every single pickup sound, place sound, just fantastic. So satisfying, every single one of them. The sound you make when you step on dirt, I could listen to that for hours. And the music is so good in Minecraft. You gotta love and you gotta respect how hard new games are working. I've played a lot of Cyberpunk 2077, but I'm not going back to it like I'm going back to Minecraft. I've been going back to Minecraft since I was less than 14. I was definitely in middle school when I started playing it. Isn't that crazy? I'm a grown-ass man now. I just filed my taxes today. I've been playing Minecraft for almost a decade, 8 years, I'd say. That's ridiculous. ridiculous. I'm not going to be playing Cyberpunk in 8 years. I'm not going to be playing Valorant in 8 years. Might be playing Minecraft in 8 more years. Who knows? I don't know if anybody thought it was going to last this long, but here we are. Oh, man, it's been building on this server. Stuff's going nuts over here. I should probably edit out all the times that I'm talking about Minecraft because you can't see it. Doesn't make any sense. I'm just screaming about nothing, essentially. Don't want to get into any deep, dark topics today. I don't know. I want to stay away from those now that I know people are actually listening to this. This used to be my therapy session because, I would cry after I recorded each episode. Fun fact. Who knows if that's true? Could be. And I could just be lying to you guys about how often I cry. Here's a lighthearted way to start this topic off. Or not this topic. Here's a lighthearted way to start off this podcast. Do you guys... I keep saying "do you guys" in all these episodes, but nobody responds to me. This is a one-sided conversation in the heaviest sense. But do you guys know of any weird condiment combinations or like food and condiment combinations? I'll give you mine as an example. I do it all the time and it's delicious. My whole family does it. Well, my mom doesn't do it. My mom and my sister used to not do it, but now my sister does it and she's like, I was missing out. And she was right. So if you guys ever heard of mac and cheese, you know that I put teriyaki sauce on mac and cheese. Specifically Kikkoman, like the low sodium teriyaki sauce. It's so good. Something about that like sweet tang goes really well with the cheese. And I want everybody to try it at least once because it's good. It's fantastic. It makes mac and cheese better. I hate when I'm eating like good baked mac and cheese around other people because I'm like, I can't put teriyaki sauce on this, but I know it would make it better. It would make it better. Every time it would make it better. It's so good, but I'm ashamed of it. I can't do it in public. Could you imagine if you like got a side of mac and cheese at a restaurant? I don't know where you can get a side of mac and cheese. Probably like at Applebee's, some garbage place like that. But you ask for mac and cheese and you also ask for teriyaki sauce. And like, it just doesn't go with anything you're getting. And they're like, okay, because they have to bring it to you. And then they watch you slobber on the mac and cheese with teriyaki sauce. It's dripping. It's not even yellow anymore. It's brown. That's the best way to do it. You're like, you got to get a 50-50 ratio of mac to teriyaki sauce. That might be a little excessive, but still, you got to get a lot in there because it's good. It's so good. It pairs amazingly well. I don't think there's any other weird combinations I do. I mean, I put hot sauce on a lot of things, but I think a lot of people do that. Like, I'll put hot sauce on eggs and pizza and like rice quiche, those kind of things where it's like, I don't want to say bland, but where it's like repetitive flavors. Most of the flavors are like really fatty. So like that spice just cuts through. It's so good. Shut up, kid. Yeah. And if you are clicking off the podcast, there better be only one reason. And so you can go try mac and cheese with teriyaki sauce. If you're clicking off because you think I'm disgusting, that hurts my feelings. I don't like that. You shouldn't judge me just because of my weird flavor combinations. Christ. Are you ever like typing something in a search bar and the autofills don't come up? And for some reason you were just relying on the autofills, and now every single gear and every single cell in your brain cranks to 10 and is just making sure you spell everything right, because that just happened to me. I know how to spell all of these words. I don't want to say what they are. I'm not going to say one of them is the word interesting. I don't want to bring up what I can and can't spell. But I cannot believe how hard my brain shuts down when I don't have that autofill. That's got to be a super Gen Z type of thing. Is it Gen Z? Or is it just people nowadays because we rely on technology so much just to help us out? I don't know if it's specifically Gen Z, because I feel like a lot of like people decently older than me rely on technology because they just assume that it should work in a certain way, so when it doesn't, they shut down. Not naming any specifics, but that's just a feeling that I get. I just made potatoes. I just air fried some potatoes, and yes, I'm absolutely one of those people that thinks everybody should have an air fryer. It's so great. I will try to air fry anything I can. I'll air fry things that you could just put in the oven, but I'm like, but I could air fry it and it could get slightly crispier, slightly faster. So I do it. Everything. I'll do it with anything. I'll cut something in half so it fits in my air fryer just so I can air fry it. Like, I'll go through an extra step to make sure that it fits in my air fryer. And it's fantastic for frying food. Like, I've made chicken katsu. It's just like flat fried chicken multiple times in my air fryer. And it always comes out better than when I used to deep fry it. Deep frying's hard, dude. I don't care what anybody says. It's hard to get the oil the right temperature, especially when you're just a broke kid like me. I don't have a candy thermometer or whatever you call it. And like, you never get the temperature right. You always put it in for just a little too long, or like you start a grease fire. You know, it happens to the best of us. You burn an apartment building down. It happens to everybody. Don't worry about it. But everybody should have an air fryer. I just cut potatoes up. I sprinkle oil on them and I put them in for 20 minutes and they come out crispy to perfection. Put salt on them, you're done. I just ate a whole bowl of potatoes and that's it. I know it's not great for me. They are a vegetable, right? Or I might be dumb. I think they're a vegetable because they grow out of the ground. I don't know anything. Don't listen to me. Don't come here for facts and evidence and hard-hitting, science. You come here to laugh. All right. I'm a smart kid, but oh my God, am I dumb. I'm one of the dumbest people I know. Straight up. I was driving home from work one time. I'm almost ashamed to admit this. I was driving home from work one time and I was coughing and there was some mucus in my mouth. So I was like, okay, I'll just roll down my window, lean my head out and spit. Cause like every time I try to spit and I don't lean my head out, it just like comes back in. The wind takes it and it just like smears it across the inside of my car. Happens every time. I mean, I don't do it often. I'm not disgusting. But when I do it, that's what happens to me. So I'm driving home, leaning my head out the window, going, I'd say 45, 50 on like a abandoned highway. Not abandoned, it's just empty because it was like after 10 p.m. I'd say I just got off work late. So lean my head out, boom, my glasses go off my head, right? I had my glasses on. What an idiot. You want to know what the worst part is? I had a hat on too, but I took my hat off and put it in the passenger seat because I was like, it's going to fly off my head. What a fucking idiot. Dude, how did I take my hat off but not even think about the fact that I was wearing glasses? And they were my only pair of glasses and they just flew 40 feet, 50 feet behind me. So I got to pull over, right? I pull over, got my hazards on, I get out of the car and there's nobody around. So I've got my flashlight on. I'm in the middle of a 2-lane highway and I'm just looking for my glasses on the ground because like, what else can I do? I need those. I got to see. This was also before I had been to the eye doctor. Post move, so like I would have had to go schedule a new patient appointment, get new prescription, and then wait however long to get those glasses in. So like that's a month, maybe 2 months that I'm just no glasses. So I've got to find these, right? And you know what? I did it. In the middle of a dark highway, I found my glasses completely unscratched, unscathed. They made it. Those glasses are tougher than most relationships nowadays. It was amazing that I found them. I still can't believe that I found them. And then I wonder because a couple people did drive by. Like it's a well-used road around here, but like around here nobody goes out that late. So like 10 p.m. I probably saw 1, maybe 2 cars drive past me, and I wonder what they were thinking. They just see a kid in like a hoodie on the side of the road with his phone flashlight out. Oh wait, no, I actually had I have like an emergency kit in the back of my car, so I had a headlamp on and my phone flashlight just to double the brightness. It's crazy. What a fucking idiot that kid is. That kid's me. Shit, yeah. It's crazy. This might come out of the blue. Does anybody here care about my opinions? Like, I want a way for people to like ask me questions on like certain topics for me to like give my take on like this or this, like, give me a debate 2 people are having and like I'll settle it here and now on this podcast. I think that'd be fun. I don't know if anybody cares. I mean, all the responses I've gotten so far for this podcast have been good, but like sure there are people that listened and were like, nah, no thanks, nah, nada. I wonder how long it's going to take for somebody who like doesn't follow me on Instagram or Twitter where I'm posting all this stuff, promoting it, to listen to this. Like how deep into the charts are some of these people going? I know there's a section for new podcasts, but I mean, it doesn't mean you're just going to listen to one where somebody's like, oh, I'm just going to talk to myself. Like if you're going to listen to one, you're probably going to listen to one where like there's a topic and you have some interest in that topic. You're not just going to listen just because. But yeah, that'll be interesting. I don't know if it's ever going to happen. Might not. I'm fine with that. My homies just want to listen to this. That's totally cool with me. And my homies for a reason. And yes, when I say homies, I mean you. Everyone listening to this, you're my homie. I love you all. I love you all for supporting me. I feel like I'm going to say that a lot just because like I really didn't expect it. I expected to get like a couple listens and for somebody to text me and be like, stop. Don't do that anymore. Like, seriously, knock it off. That's 100% what I expected. So the fact that I got any kind of positivity is it's amazing. I really can't say thank you enough just for the positivity. Like I'm obviously not earning any money from this, but like just having positive responses makes me feel really good. Dude, this cat's so cute. I don't know. A lot of you might know just because I posted a picture one time on Instagram with it. But there's a cat bed on my desk, and my little sidekick right here just sleeps in the cat bed right next to me. So she's within within arm's reach almost all the time. But I don't want to talk too much about my cat. But what I do want to talk about is baby talk and how people also use baby talk when they're talking to animals. Like, the high pitch, like, ooh woo. I feel like the ooh woo voice is like a weird evolution of baby talk. I don't know. I still don't know how I feel about the ooh woo voice. I think it's funny sometimes, but also it kind of scares me. Like, I don't know. Feels like a voice that would get pumped into you for like propaganda reasons, Pumped in is a weird way to say it. But yeah, it just gives me a weird feeling depending on who uses it. Going back to like the ASMR, because I still don't understand ASMR. Like, I get that it gives a sensory reaction, but I just don't have that reaction. So it doesn't fully click in my brain why some people like certain things. Some people like the low whispering. The only one that I kind of could understand by like the description of ASMR is when people really like the sound of like hair cutting and hairbrushes. That one kind of makes sense. But I'm getting so off topic. Baby talk. I hate baby talk. I hate baby talk so much. It's probably a product of me being the youngest person in my family. I was never around kids, really. I was never around anybody younger than me. So when I hear like people talking to kids and like talking to them like they're stupid, which they are, and kids are dumb, but it still feels weird. I'm still like, don't talk like that. Just talk to them. They're a person. They're a human. They're just a small one. So just talk to them like you talk to anybody else, which I know is a pretty ignorant idea because like it's kind of natural to talk like that because like their language isn't fully formed. So that's kind of how they talk, and everybody kind of mimics in a way, like depending on who you're around, you might mimic, certain gestures and certain slang phrases. So it makes sense. It doesn't stop me from thinking it's weird. I was trying to say earlier that I'm on my Minecraft grind, but I've literally just been walking around doing nothing. What else could I do while I'm sitting here? I don't want to do homework, anything like that. That's all I've been doing for the past couple days. Oh my god, dude, I got behind. I slacked off 1 week in a biology class, and now like I'm never gonna catch up unless I just spend a whole day on it. I'm gonna be behind forever now. I found out that I had a midterm this morning. I found out last night at about 10 p.m. that I even had it, which is crazy, right? Just imagine if I just showed up to my 10 a.m. class and they were like, all right, get ready for your midterm. I'd be like, what? Huh? I had to do notes on like a whole chapter last night at 10 p.m. because I had no idea that there was a midterm, but I did it though. And I got a B on it because I'm kind of the best. Dude, when it comes to just like getting through things, I'm kind of the best. Shouts out my moms, shouts out my dads. They raised somebody who's just built a little different. I'm gonna be honest. They raised me fantastically. I owe a lot to them. The theme just shifted so much. The tone of that just changed from like shouts out my moms to like a Grammy Award winning speech where I'm like, I want to thank my mother. Anyway, yeah, my brain works in mysterious ways. I can't sing. I really wish I could. I really wish I could sing. I sing my heart out in the car. Oh my god. I like half sing when other people are in the car. Like I do like a high pitch kind of voice. But when I'm alone, I'm belting. I am at a concert. I'm front and center. Oh my god. Music is cranked. I'm screaming. There have been multiple occasions where I'm headbanging and screaming, and I look over to somebody else at the stoplight and they're just looking at me like, hey bro, what the fuck's going on? I get two reactions. And they're from two very different age groups. I get two reactions. The older age group looks at me like I am a crazy person. Like I am just insane. I'm out of my mind. I should be locked up in a psych ward. The younger generation looks at me and is like, oh, fuck yeah, dude. You headbanged to that song. I bet that shit slaps. Two very different responses, right? And that's why I've come to the decision that once you turn 60, 70, you just shouldn't be let out anymore. Take away all your rights, We don't give rights to kids under 18. Why do you get to keep them forever? Maybe 70 is a little young because, I don't want to name specifics, but like Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders has a good head on his shoulders. I don't care if you agree with his ideologies or not. Man's got a solid head on his shoulders. He knows what he's doing. He knows where he is at all times. And he's in his late 70s. He's got to be right. I'll look this up so I don't. Again, don't come here for facts. This is going to be the only fact you're going to get today. 79. He's got a few good years left in him. What's like a good turnaround? I feel like 82 is a good year to be like, all right, let's start whittling down what you're allowed to do because you're 18 years away from death, right? 18 years away from 100, not necessarily death. But yeah, take them. I don't see why not. What is somebody that's 85 doing that somebody who's 15 has zero business doing? Please tell me. Please tell me. Dude, I know people in high school, 16 years old, that have more knowledge and are more willing to learn about their surroundings, about society as a whole, than most people over the age of like 70s. Because you get so set in your ways. This is becoming such like a Gen Z, I'm a young kid, poo-pooing on the older generation, but like that's kind of true. When was the last time you heard like you were discussing, something that was going on in the world with somebody way older than you, somebody in their 70s or 80s, and they were like, "Oh yeah, I didn't, maybe you're right. Maybe I was wrong." When was the last time that happened? It's never happened to me. I mean, I don't really try to talk about serious stuff with older people because I know most of the time we're going to disagree. And there's no reason to go out of your way to disagree with somebody. It just doesn't make sense. There's no reason to go out of your way to create conflict. Doesn't make sense. That being said, I'm not a pacifist. I'm ready to throw hands, always. Dude, I'm at work sometimes and like a manager will be like, "Hey, follow me." And like we'll stop somebody from stealing because like I work at a department store. So we have power tools, which are very, I don't want to say they're resold a lot. They're stolen a lot and resold because they're valuable. You can resell those pretty cheap and still make money. You'll resell them for half price and you'll still make $100 depending on what it is. So they get stolen a lot. So we've been trying to crack down on that, but like kind of don't care sometimes. But like if somebody was like getting uppity, I don't know if they were like, if they had any kind of weapon like a knife or a gun, obviously I'm not going to do anything. But if they're just trying to throw hands with a couple of my coworkers, I'll jump in, right? I'll lose my job for that. I'll lose my job for a good story. Dude, if I get fired, it better be a good story. Oh my God. What a waste that would be. What a waste that would be if I got fired with no story behind it. I just got a new supervisor and I was really trying to like subtly say that I want him to fire me so I could get unemployment. Is that bad? Is that really bad? I just feel like I got a lot on my plate right now. And not having a job would fix 80% of my problems, I'd say. I don't know where I was going with that, to be honest. My cat distracted me. She got up. She's walking around. She's stretching. Oh, God. What are you trying to do? What's the plan here? I love cats, dude. I didn't have any pets growing up, which, like, I don't blame my parents for because having a pet's hard. So if you're raising two kids, like having a pet definitely takes a back seat. Like now that I have pets of my own, it's so great. Like, but I mean, I couldn't have cats when I was growing up. My mom's really allergic. My sister's pretty allergic. I was allergic. I just like adapted really quick. I just evolved to not be allergic anymore, which is crazy because I definitely was at one point. But like, I think it shifted because now I'm way more allergic to dogs. I don't know what happened. It used to be like medium bad for both, but now it's like really bad for dogs. And I'm like not allergic to cats. These cats sleep in my bedroom. I got one here, within a foot of me all the time. Nothing. If I'm around a fluffy dog for more than a minute, I feel it. Like I'm sneezing, my eyes are watering. Depending on how much the dog touches me, like I'll get little hives on my skin. So I don't know what happened, which I mean, it's good now because my mom like isn't allergic to dogs. My dad's not allergic to either because he's, he had me. So obviously he's built a little different too, but they want to get a dog now, which I think is great. I'll love to meet that dog because, it'll just be me visiting. So I'll just be there for a day at most. We don't even spend the night there often when we go back. So it'll work out great for us, or for me. I don't know why I'm saying us. I'm basically single. I just have a girlfriend. No fiance, no nothing like that. Dude, people really getting married out here. I have a friend who's my age, who's coming up on like their 6th month wedding anniversary. There was an old coworker who's younger than me who got married recently. What is going on? What is in the air? My roommates are getting married. Like, congrats to everybody, but what is going on? I did not think that was going to happen so soon. I figured like early 20s, like 22, 23. I start seeing that a lot. Nah, fresh out the gate, 19, 20. I'm seeing weddings left and right. It's so weird because I still haven't been to one. I might be going to a cousin's this year. I haven't got an official invite or anything like that. I'm trying to go to a wedding and it'd be like a country wedding. I think that'd be pretty fun. So I'm gonna completely change the topic to something that happens way too often to me. Does anybody else get super self-conscious when somebody asks you what kind of music do you listen to? I shut down when somebody asks me that question. I don't know what it is because I do like a lot of different kinds of music. Like my music taste ranges dramatically. So like my most common response is like I listen to everything but country. But that doesn't narrow it down for most people. I didn't say what I prefer. I didn't say what I like. I said one thing that I don't like out of the thousands of music genres that there are. I said one big one that I don't like. That's so little info. Like I don't know what good way to answer that question is. I shut down when I get asked that question. Like 100% serious. I get so self-conscious and nervous if I start thinking about like, what kind of music does this person probably like? Are they gonna judge me? Even though they're definitely not going to. If somebody's bringing up a broad topic like that, they're not usually doing it, unless they're just a garbage human being. They're not doing it to judge you. If they're doing it to, make themselves feel better, make themselves feel more elite than you because they have a fancier taste of music. I know there's a word for it. I just can't think of it right now because, head empty, brain smooth. But if they're doing it for that reason, fuck them. You don't need them. Get them out of your life. Get rid of them. Stay away from them. Ooh, I hope that sounded good. I'll cut it. But yeah, I listen to all kinds of music. What I should start saying is I listen to everything but country and 100 gecs. That should be my new response. Dude, more power to you if you listen to 100 gecs, like unironically, but like, go talk to somebody. Go see somebody. You definitely got to talk to somebody about that. Like, you should have to come out of the closet as a 100 gecs fan. Oh, Jesus. Oh, here's something that's kind of related to what I was talking about earlier with like weird food combinations that you do that like you think are perfectly normal because you do them all the time. Or maybe you do realize that they're kind of weird. But is there any like, I want to know real bad if anybody else has like a weird subconscious thing that they do. I'll tell you mine because that's really broad. That doesn't narrow down what I'm trying to ask at all. I don't step on cracks on the ground. Cracks on the sidewalk, the little indents in cement, anywhere, even indoors. I don't step on them. And 90% of the time, I don't go out of my way to not step on one. Like, I'm not going to jump in public to not step on one. But, like, just because of my posture, I can always see the ground. And I can feel myself taking different length strides in order to not step on cracks. Is that okay? Am I okay? Is that related to a serious mental problem that I have? Or am I just a freak? I'm probably just like a freak, right? Because I can't think of anything else like that. And I've explained this to a couple people and they'll be like, no, you don't. Shut up. And I had a friend in high school who I told this to. And then I told it to him in class. And then after class, we were walking together and I wasn't thinking about it at all. But we get to our next class because we had 2 classes in a row together. And he was like, you really didn't step on any cracks on the way over here. Like, whether the crack is, part of the squared out cement or if it's there for an unknown reason, you didn't step on it. And I'm like, yeah, I told you. I just don't step on them. I saw one Everybody Hates Chris episode, step on a crack, break your mother's back, and I never did it again. I never did it. I mean, that's definitely not why I'm still doing it, but that's what it started. Must have. Dude, I remember 90% of Everybody Hates Chris episode. I love that show. The father in that show, played by the great Terry Crews, I'm pretty sure he's the reason why I'm so cheap. I'm not gonna lie. He's pretty cheap in that show, and I don't spend money. I save constantly, just in case I don't have that money anymore. Like, I don't know how that would happen because I don't spend it, but like, in case I need all of it at once, I've got it. Somebody's like, hey, give me all your money or you die. And I give them $20. Even though that's all my money, I'm still going to die. But if I got a bank, I'm not going to die. That's a weird example. It's a weird life or death example. Everybody Hates Chris was a fantastic show. What network was Everybody Hates Chris on? Currently airs on Fuse and Bounce TV. UPN and the CW? What is UPN? I know what the CW is. UPN, Paramount. Okay. It was replaced by the CW. Oh, okay. I was like, what the? I'm gonna look up best CW sitcoms, and if Everybody Hates Chris is #1 on everybody's list, I'm gonna lose my mind. I can't even think of another CW sitcom. CW dramas? That's literally the opposite of what I looked up. I never watched Reba. Yeah, I didn't see any of these other ones. I'm gonna try to compare them and be like, this one's the best. But I've never seen any of these other ones. Significant Mother? What is that? Oh, I watched a little bit of Jane the Virgin. That one's actually pretty funny. My girl likes that show. It's not as good as Everybody Hates Chris, because no show is. Like, it's pretty unique, and it's so funny. There's so many bits in it, and Chris Rock as the narrator, he's Chris Rock. He's funny, and the timing that they put in the editing of that narration is so good. That was one of my favorite shows growing up. What other show did I watch a lot? growing up? I mean, other than like the basic cartoons. I feel like I didn't watch that many cartoons, like compared to other people, just because, I don't know, my parents didn't want to watch cartoons. I don't know what it was. Maybe it's because my sister was a little older, so I just watched what they were watching. I watched a lot of older movies, and I watched a decent bit of like Friends and Seinfeld growing up, just because my parents would put that on. God, I watched a lot of Big Bang Theory growing up too. And that was funny for a while, but then it hit a point where I was like, this is just all right. And like, I'm still kind of nostalgic for it, which is weird because I don't care about that show anymore. The show over? Is the Big Bang Theory over? They could still be on season 13. I wouldn't know. Oh, the series concluded May 16, 2019. It's been over for that long? There were 12 seasons of that show? Oh my God. The real reason why the Big Bang Theory ended. Why do you think it ended, dude? Because it went for 12 years. It had 12 seasons. I don't know why I said 4. Literally nothing that I'm looking at says the word 4. It just came out of my mouth. Dude, this is the stupidest article I've ever seen in my life. The real reason why the Big Bang Theory ended. And there's like a bunch of headings that are like, oh, this person didn't want to do the show anymore. This person didn't want to do the show. Like everybody who was in the show and everybody who worked on the show was like, yeah, it can end. I'm fine with that. Like, why is there a clickbait article based around that when it's just the lamest thing ever? It's just the lamest article. Oh, and they started Young Sheldon at the same time. God, I hope that show's still not going. It was terrible, dude. I feel like everybody who was like kind of like the Big Bang Theory watched Young Sheldon was just like, no thanks, I'll pass. That's a weird spin-off to do, right? Like, they definitely go into Jim Parsons' character Sheldon. They go into his backstory the most out of anybody, but like, that doesn't mean that you want to do a whole nother show about it. Spin-offs are always tricky, right? Even sequels can be tricky. Like Legend of Korra, the Avatar sequel, it's tricky because it's like, so it has to be its own thing while also like still resonating with the fans of the original, which is really hard to do. It's the best spin-off TV show ever. What does Google think the best spin-off TV show ever? No, I've never seen any of these shows. I don't know why I'm looking this up. I don't watch live action shows. I just watch anime. I don't know why I'm looking this up. Been watching a lot of anime. I made goals for 2021. First time I ever did resolutions or anything like that, and one of them is to finish my 100th anime. I started the year on 75 out of 100, so I think we're on good track. I gotta finish like one every other week, and I'm making good pace. I've already finished 3, not even the end of January yet, so I'll keep you updated on that, even though nobody cares. Not one person cares about that. Yeah. If you ever need anime recommendations, I'm your guy. I've seen a lot. I watch all kinds of genres. I think that's one of the subcategories that I put this podcast in, is the animation and manga subcategory. Maybe I should try to talk about that a little more. I don't really know if people who don't watch that kind of stuff would be interested, though. Like, I get that it's getting more mainstream, which is great. I'm so happy that anime is getting more mainstream, because I was like kind of ashamed, and like I definitely hid the fact that I watched anime when I first started watching it. I started watching anime in like the 6th grade. First one I really got into was Fairy Tail, and I didn't tell anybody. I really didn't. I talked to like a couple people about it that I already knew watched anime, but yeah, I didn't really talk to anybody about it. And then I stopped. I didn't watch anime like when I was 13, 14. I stopped watching anime for like a couple years. And then I got, closer to a friend group who watched it more and was more open about it. And like, I dove back in, and I dove back in hard. It was fantastic. I can't thank those kids enough, dude. I'm sure my life would be a lot different without them. I love those guys, but mostly love them because they got me back into anime, and they got me back into anime by being like, you should watch One Piece. You should catch up on One Piece so we can all talk about it. I had one friend who was caught up, and he got 3 of us to watch One Piece just because he was like, I gotta talk to somebody about this, and now I'm all the way caught up. Now I caught up on the show, and I went back and read the manga. Who's got that kind of time? How did I do that? You know how many episodes there were? There were already like 870 episodes when I caught up, so there were 900 chapters probably. And they just passed chapter 1,000. How did I have that kind of time? I just grinded it out. That's why I miss being in high school, dude. I used to just come home, and if I didn't like fall asleep right away, just because I stayed up so late every day on my phone, if I didn't fall asleep right away, I just like turn on anime and watch it for hours, just into the night. I miss that kind of stuff, dude. Now I like watch anime for an hour and a half, and I feel guilty because I feel like I should be doing something else. It's crazy. I wish I just didn't have to sleep. I wish my body could run solely off sunlight and food, and I didn't have to sleep. Could you imagine if plants had to sleep? No, it's just dark out, so they don't do anything. Oh, people are home. You know what that means. Time to hide my shame. I love you guys so much. I'll probably tell you that every week. Oh, I don't know when I'm gonna put out these episodes. I think I'm gonna start trying to put everything out on Wednesday or Thursday. Try to do one a week, just to keep it consistent so I don't fall off, because this is a lot of fun. I have fun doing this. I hope you guys have fun listening. So I think that's the plan from here on out. Wednesday or Thursday, I'll definitely tweet out new episodes whenever they go live, and go follow me on Instagram and Twitter at _Travis Hudson. I made Instagrams and Twitter specifically for this podcast, but I'm still trying to figure out how I want to use those, because like I don't know if I would just want to post like once a week just to promote the show on a separate account that like has 10 followers right now. So I'll probably just keep doing it on my main until everybody who follows me gets annoyed or listens. But yeah, I love you guys. I'll see you next time. Let me tell you something. This man right here, this man is an absolute unit.